I contributed a chapter to this new book from Food First looking at land justice. And I've been working in the food movement for about 10 years now, and I was really excited to have the opportunity to contribute my thoughts to this book because I have an interesting perspective on the food movement, working as a practitioner, working the land and owning a farm, and then also working as kind of an advocate and an activist through academia and through my work at Food First. And so my hope has always been to kind of bridge the worlds between the work that's happening on the ground and the work that's happening at a more systemic level. And so contributing this chapter felt like a really great opportunity to share some of the experiences that I've had as a farmer that I think really reflect what's going on in the greater movement and really are important in terms of kind of the systemic way that we're looking at the food system and the food movement and trying to enact transformation and change. The chapter that I wrote is a discussion on land access for new and young farmers and the struggles that this new generation of farmers face with regards to land prices and the efforts that are being made nationwide to increase access to land for young farmers that is very highly focused on a system of renting. And I think that it's really important as a movement that we constantly kind of check in with ourselves and make sure that the work that we are doing and the change that we are advocating is actually the kind of change that we want to see in the world. And I fear that the efforts and energy that are being put into developing a culture of renting and leasing land for young farmers is one that may in the long run be detrimental to the food movement because it is in fact kind of reinstating a lot of the norms and traditions of the food system as it stands. And I think that the interest that we have in getting more people back on the land to create the foundation of this new food system and to steward the environment in a more ecological way and to in fact have a huge impact on climate change and carbon sequestration, which is something that there's a growing dialogue around the important role that farmers have in helping reverse climate change. I think as we kind of put those big tasks on this new farming generation, we also need to look at what kind of opportunities these farmers have and what kind of situation we're asking these farmers to live in order to make those kind of contributions. And I think that currently we have a situation in which new and young farmers are living rather precarious lifestyles and rather bohemian lifestyles in kind of a martyrdom to the food movement and to the food system. And I think that we need to think about the way we relate to land and the expectations we have of folks who are stewarding the land who have no ownership over that land. And whether that ownership is private ownership within this kind of general neoliberal system that we have, or if that is looking at new systems of ownership that will kind of turn our normal traditions on their head and look back towards models of the commons or community land trusts. Wherever we want to place our efforts, I think we really need to make sure that we are creating situations that make sense for farmers in the long run, because the efforts that are being made now I fear that we're building a house of cards. We're building a new food movement in a way that is not sustainable for the people that are at the foundation of it.